It was reported last week that 120,000 Irish people are going to leave these shores in the next 2 years. Should they go to America?
Not unless they have a legal visa to go. It's very, very unfortunate, but we've lost our way in America in terms of allowing people in legally. A lot of people are going illegally, and the numbers are certainly increasing in the last 6 months. We noticed that. But unfortunately, because of the current immigration system, it's impossible for Irish people to leave and live legally in America. So I wouldn't recommend it, no.
How does the Obama administration compare to Clinton's?
Well, in terms of the Irish issue, you know, a lot of the issues in the Clinton administration no longer apply. The peace process in Northern Ireland is pretty much on the way now. And the great work that Clinton did has been followed on by Obama, but it's not as significant because the issue isn't as big. But the issue of immigration is one that we're working very closely with Democrats and with the White House on, because Obama has promised immigration reform. But it's a very, very difficult issue in the current circumstances. So we're hoping that in the next year that an immigration bill will get through.
Do you miss Ted Kennedy?
Hugely, yeah, just on a personal level as a close friend, and just in terms of what he represented. He was the face of Ireland in the US Senate, and he was a very, very important figure. Nothing happened on Ireland that he didn't have a lot of input in, and he basically made a lot of key decisions around the peace process and was very helpful on immigration as well.
Do you think that Obama's been damaged by this oil spill?
I think it's been damaged to a certain extent. I mean, there's a huge expectation that the president can solve everything, but it's a bit like talking about politicians here. There's only so much politicians can do in the end of the day. I don't know what he could have done differently, to be honest, but there's a general antipathy towards him on the far right, which is taking every issue possible, including the oil spill, which in fact is much more a Bush administration issue because they relaxed all the rules governing offshore drilling, and that's where the problem began originally.
You had a spat with Niall O'Dowd last year about his attitude being that the power of the Irish-American lobby is greatly exaggerated in the Irish media. Mm-hmm. Do you have a comment on that?
Only that he's wrong. He's a relative newcomer to America. I think he misunderstands what the Irish lobby is about. It's not about turning out millions of people. It's about how you can impact key people in congressional races, like we did with Bill Clinton when he first ran for president. That was the Irish lobby in action, like we've done for numerous candidates, Senator Chuck Schumer in New York, Hillary Clinton when she was running for president. So I think if you look at our track record, particularly with President Clinton, I would say quite the opposite, that the Irish lobby is stronger and more focused, and also a lot smarter than it was many years ago.
The economist David McWilliams has suggested that the Irish diaspora should be, that's who we should be looking for money from, basically. Right. What's your take on that?
Well, I think David's, he's got a point in one sense. I mean, we had a very successful forum last September in Dublin called Farmly, which brought about 150 Irish leaders from across the world to Ireland. There's no question it's a huge, huge issue in terms of how you tap into that diaspora. And I look at companies like Coca-Cola, which would never have come into Ireland were it not for an Irish-American chief executive. Companies like that, the head of Intel, Craig Barrett. So it's obviously a very important part of Ireland's pitch abroad, is that you have a footprint in the world of 70 million people who can trace their ancestry to Ireland. That's actually very, very important.